Preacher Kids. Preacher Kids, David Pope.
See, it's right here. Gullible. Someone who is easily tricked because they're too trusting. Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. I'm trying to figure out how my sister convinced me that the word gullible isn't in the dictionary, and that if I didn't believe her, I should just go look it up and prove her wrong. My younger sister, Elizabeth, is a natural-born leader. So much so that I'm convinced she actually assisted in her own birth. And if she didn't assist, I know she went back and told the doctor what he did wrong. When Liz was 5, she wrote on the walls in big, bright purple crayon, "We all hate this wallpaper." Then signed my name. Leaders like others to get credit for their hard work. I got credit for 2 weeks alone in my room. A few years later, Liz comes running down the hall into my room. It's Christmas time. "I found something. You gotta come with me." I said, "Great." We ran down the hall, went into my parents' bedroom, into their closet. She throws open the door, turns around and goes, "We're getting phones for Christmas." "We're not supposed to know about this." She said, "Don't worry, I won't tell." I believed her. Christmas came and went. New Year's came and went. No phones. Finally, I worked up the courage to go to my mother. "Mom, were we supposed to have phones?" My mother looked down at me and she said, "You were, darling, until your sister told me that you showed them to her." Leaders like others to get credit for their hard work. And again, I got credit for 2 weeks in my room. It's hard enough being a teenager. We were the teenagers of an Episcopal priest. I didn't get lectures. I got sermons. Senior year in high school, my parents decided to go out of town for the weekend and leave us kids home alone to watch the house. And why shouldn't they? If you can't trust preacher's kids, who can you trust? 30 seconds after my parents left, Liz is on the phone to our friends, inviting everybody over for a huge party at our house. This was going to be quite the little soiree. Bartles and James were very proud of her that night. And Jim Beam had a fantastic time. I, on the other hand, was quietly in my room, alone, with my girlfriend. I know what you're thinking. I can see it. What was the son of a preacher man doing in his room alone with a girl while his parents were out of town? That's not the point. The point is that my sister is a natural-born leader, and the next morning she got up and picked up all of those empty bottles and cans of alcohol and put them into bags. Several bags. She then picked up all the bags, ran up the stairs, went down the hall into my room, opened up my closet door, and hid the bottles and cans in the back of my closet and closed the door. And I can see what you're thinking. That was pretty tricky. She actually hid those in the back of your closet without you even knowing about it. Folks, leaders like others to want to help them succeed. My sister actually convinced me to allow her to hide these in my closet. Folks, I actually gave this woman permission to set me up. Time went by. Liz says she forgot about the bottles. I actually did. Until I came home from school one day, went up those stairs, down that hall, walked into my room, and found my parents sitting on the corner of my bed, surrounded by bags of empty bottles of alcohol. Several bags of empty bottles of alcohol. My mother wept. My father, the priest, forgot the sermon. Instead, he described to me things he was going to do to body parts I didn't know I had. And the body parts I did know I had, I didn't know you could do that to. They said, "We think you have a problem." I said, "I don't think so." They said, "We think you're an alcoholic." I said, "I don't think so." They said, "We think you should go to AA." I said, "I don't think so." Finally, we reached the agreement that I did not have to go to AA. Whew. I did, however, get to spend a year explaining to a psychiatrist how my sister in one night turned me into a raging alcoholic. The good news is that as time went by, the guilt began to overcome me. And finally, one Sunday night, as we were all gathered for dinner, Liz stood up and said to my parents, "I have a confession to make. Those bottles and cans you found in Dave's room 17 years ago, I was the one who actually put those there after a party I had for the weekend when my dad were gone." My parents jumped to their feet. "We are so proud of you," they said. "All these years coming forward to tell us the truth. It must have been so hard for you." Leaders know exactly when to stand up and accept responsibility for their deeds. Leader. Someone who has the ability to lead others into trouble. Get a Toastmasters.